Welcome back. Math's easy, step by step. This is part 45, continuing to show examples of converting percent into fraction into a decimal. So remember, percent means per 100. So, well, 2.5%. Percent means per 100. You can write 2.5, or 2 and 5 tenths is another way to say that, over 100. Now, you always should reduce your fractions. And here it's a little more difficult, so I'm going to show you two ways to simplify and reduce this particular fraction, right? I know that, let's say, 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 would be 100, or 25 times 4 is 100, right? So 2.5 can be divided into 2.5. 2.5 can be divided into 100. First, we'll focus on the 10. 2.5 plus 2.5, or 2.5 times 2, is 5. So 2.5 times 4 would be 10, leaving me the 0. 2.5 times 0, which would be 40, what you see here. And I know 2.5 times 1 is 2.5. And then 2.5 times 40 would give me 100. So that's one way you can reduce this fraction. And you've converted 2 and 5 tenths percent into a fraction of 1 over 40, or 1/40th is another way to say it. Here is another method you could use. We're going to move that fraction one time to the right. But if you move the fraction one time to the right, you got to do something special with this denominator. Do you know what that is? Okay, so what you would do is move the decimal to the right one time. Then add 1 0 to the denominator's place. I want to show you a visual. You take that decimal, move it to the right. And for every time you move it to the right, you add a 0. So here we're just moving it one time. I add 1 0 to the denominator's place. Let's say you had to move it 5 times. Well, then you'd add 5 zeros to the denominator's place. So the rule is the same, but for this example, I'm just moving it one time to the right. So I add 1 0 to the denominator's place. So now we have 25.0, right? I don't need to include that 0.0 any longer. I can just write 25 over 100. So both of these fractions are equivalent to each other. One's including a decimal with a 0 placeholder. The other fraction is just not showing the decimal. It's invisible. It's invisible. So now, what do we do with this fraction we have here? 25 over 1,000. What would you do? If you said reduce that fraction, you are absolutely correct. So we have 25 over 1,000, right? Now, I know 25 times 1 would give me 25. Well, 25 times what number would give me 1,000, right? Or look at it this way. I know 25 times 4 would get me 100, leaving me a 0. So 25 times 0 would give me 0. 25 times 40 equals 1,000. So I can divide both top and bottom in reducing this fraction by 25. Let's say you didn't realize that you can divide 25 into top and bottom. Can 5 be divided evenly into 25? Yes. Can 5 be divided into 1,000 evenly? Yes. You absolutely can do that, but you would have to continue dividing into top and bottom until you reduced your fraction to 1 over 40. So here you can see the importance of understanding multiplying and dividing, at least up to your 12 by 12 product table. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so the more you practice that, the easier this kind of stuff is gonna be for you. That's all it is. Practice. So 1 over 40 can also be written, right? Every fraction's a division problem. 1 divided by 40. So 1 divided by 40 is written like this here, or 1 divisor bar 40. Hey, let's turn that 1/40th into a decimal. Do you remember how to do that? All right, quick review again. 2.5 percent, that's our percent. We converted that into a fraction, 2.5 over 100, or 1 over 40. You saw both the methods you could use in order to do that. So we have percent to fraction into decimal. So I set this up for you, right? Every fraction's a division problem. I showed you the invisible decimal. I rose it above the divisor bar. I added a bunch of zeros. And I set up the 40. 40 times what number will get me 1? There's no number times 40 that gets me 1. 40 times what number will get me 10? No numbers times, no whole numbers times 40 will give me 10. So add another 0. We have 100 now. 40 times 100, remember you're going to put your multiple right above the 0 place on that hundreds value. 40 times what number or multiple will get me closest to 100 without going over? I want you to practice doing this long division. I want you to stop and pause. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so like we talked about, there's no whole number times 40 gets me 1. There's no whole number times 40 gets me 10. 2 times 40 would give me 80, right? And look at it this way, I'm going to subtract 80 from 100, right? So let's say you had $100. You paid $80 for an item. How much money do they owe you back? $20, right? So that's our remainder, $20. And when we do long division, we bring down the next digit. It happens to be a 0. So 240 times what number gets me closest to 200 without going over? Stop and pause in 3, 2, 1. Hey, if you said 5 times 40 gets me 200, you are absolutely on the money. So I put the 5 right above the zeros place, above the divisor bar. 5 times 40 is 200. 200 minus 200 gives me a remainder of 0. Now I'm finished. I mean, I can keep bringing down the zeros, and the zeros would just keep going on and on and on forever. But I'm going to stop now, leaving my value at 0.025. Or we have the tens place. We have the hundreds place. We have the thousands place. So this could be said as 25 thousandths, 0.025, I believe, hundredths, tenths, thousandths place. And so now we have our decimal from our fraction. Okay, so now here you can see fraction converted into, excuse me, back up. Wait a minute. Hold on, it's not a fraction. That's a percent. You can see percent, 2.5% converted into a fraction, 1/40th converted into a decimal, 25 thousandths. So this video was a little bit long, but I thought it would be worth it to take the time to show you an abnormal percentage and how to convert that into a fraction, then a decimal. Math's easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. Please help me to help others. Like, follow, share, subscribe.